What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDawgz.com here on a money-making Friday, October 10th, 2025. Small card today. Major League Baseball, one game, Game 5. We got a bunch of college football, one WNBA game, and we're also going to do the picks for the circuit contest, see if we can string together a solid weekend on the NFL side. I got Costi with me. I got Jeremy with me today. I'll tell you guys, the only thing that is worse than how my voice sounds right now is how the Eagles played last night.
Oof.
It was bad.
How'd you like to be a Philly fan waking up this morning? And I don't mean just Phillies. I'm talking everything.
Oh, that was bad too.
Yeah, because they purposely moved the Philly game up to the first game, the Phillies and Dodgers, because that would have been the West Coast game. So,
Yeah.
you know, to support what the Eagles were doing on Thursday Night Football. And man, you get done the one, you're like, son of a bitch. Well, at least we got the Eagles that are going to win. And then they played like that. Oof.
Yeah, shout out Cam Scattaboo. 3 touchdowns. Helped my fantasy roster, except for the fact that my dumbass benched Wan'Dale Robinson just before the game.
That's not a dumbass move.
I benched him for DJ Moore. I was like, because I picked up Wan'Dale Robinson the week before the bye week for Chicago. And then
If Mitchell doesn't go down in the first quarter, the receivers are going to have a much harder time. Him going down in the first quarter gave all those receivers, like Jalen Hyatt was catching balls. The guy's in caught balls since Tennessee.
Little Jordan Humphrey.
Little Jordan. He's not so little at 6'4", but that's the bad.
Little Jordan.
Jeremy, I know you love this stat. Now the 6th time in 6 games that the Eagles have been outgained this season. Total yardage.
Well, you know, one of the few things I was right on is that the Eagles were 4-0 and that something was severely wrong with this team. It's just nobody kind of like the Rams could have showed it the week before, and maybe we're talking about it then. The Eagles could have easily lost every one of their games.
Yeah. If that rain delay doesn't happen on opening night, there's a chance the Cowboys flip it.
Yep.
You know, 3-point win over the Chiefs. You flip that blocked field goal, that goes from 33-26 to 29-27, a loss. You almost choked it away against Tampa Bay. And now Denver and the Giants.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a fun year, I guess, because I don't know who's good anymore. This league is just something else, man. No undefeated teams after week 5. And then watching that last night, we've watched almost back-to-back weeks of 2 teams that were almost double-digit favorites lose outright at home on Thursday night. It's ridiculous.
Worst throw, Jalen Hurts in the red zone or that Phillies reliever to home plate?
I think it's got to be the Phillies reliever, Costi, because he could have just gone to first base and we'd be playing in the top of the 12th. He had all the time in the world to throw to first base, and then he throws one. It looked like he was throwing an out route to his catcher.
What so the nerves and the fact that he bobbled it.
Yeah.
And you even saw the catcher pointing. You saw the catcher pointing, go to first.
Yeah, he panicked.
In that situation, I mean, I get it. You're at the top of the game in the biggest game of your life. You know, it's unfortunate, but you know, it was a tight game. I mean, I earlier in that game, they pitched around a guy on the Dodgers who was like 0 for 100. And there was some coaching discrepancies there. Still think the better team won, but
yeah. He was patting the reliever, the manager for the Phillies was patting the reliever on the back, and all I'm thinking is like, you want to say like, oh, it's okay, and part of me is like, he's like, we're not gonna have you back tomorrow. We're not gonna have you back next year. Sorry.
Yeah, you're getting fired on your day off.
I always say that, like, nobody feels worse than that player.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, maybe DeMercado doesn't really feel that bad because he sucks anyway, and whatever that was. And I still can't believe that's relevant, that people actually still do that when it happened literally the week before. But man,
like, the thing for me is, I get it. The press has to do their job and people have to do their job in those post-game interviews. But what do you want the guy to say? Oh yeah, it was a great feeling airmailing it to the guy in the third row to the popcorn vendor. Like,
yeah, I mean, I get into this all the time where I guess in this industry, when we're doing talk and we're talking about sports, that people all the time want coaches are like, oh, it's just coach speak. That's all he ever says. And then somebody actually says something. And you're like, I can't believe he said that. That's terrible. How would you say? Like, you can't have it both ways. I think there are some people that try to hide behind things and give you, we talk about coach speak, give you all that nonsense and try to feel like they answered your question and move on to the next one where it's like, oh, wait a minute, he never answered my question. They're all really good at that. But I got no problem with a guy speaking up and anybody that's willing to talk after any bad game, because these guys will bail. Most guys don't want to face the fire. So, yeah, it's a tough one, though.
You can also have Cam Ward, who just comes out and says his team is ass. And they come out and win next week.
That was the biggest blow up that I've seen in recent years. Where they were at the time of the game when DeMarcado was running in the end zone, the chances for them to, like, you know, they show like the 1%, half a percent, the expectancy. That's where they were. And the fact that they did everything wrong and you let a team who is the worst team in the league on paper come back and win that game. I know a lot of people in the survivor pool were getting blown up on that one.
It killed me. I mean, it's not just – it's one of the worst losses I've ever had in a survivor pool, where you look at how everything played out. Not just that. He runs into the end zone, the game's over. They can't come back. They're not coming back from 3 touchdowns down. Then you get the interception and somehow, some way roll over and pop that bitch back up. And then your teammates over there, oh, I fell over. Oh, I fell over again, just kicking the ball into the damn end zone. And even then, you got 3rd and 8, and you got a chance to win the game on that play. And you run a draw with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. Are you kidding me? I would have fired Gannon on the spot.
Well, Gannon got a $100K fine for his
for touching a player. It may have been the hardest hit in the game.
Jeez.
That was painful because especially in survivors, strategy is a lot of people, you know, they map it out because a lot of, I don't know which one you do, but a lot of the survivors I do, you have to play Thanksgiving games. And you map it out knowing that you have a certain amount of teams allocated for that day and you want to get rid of certain teams. So a lot of pros do map it out. And the Arizona against the Titans, that's where you want to use Arizona. And the fact that that was how it finished was extremely painful. But that's the NFL for you. That's why I love the NFL, is games like last night where everybody is on the Eagles' nuts. Oh, you know, 5 turnovers for the Giants the week before. No neighbors. This is going to be the same Giants team. Now that they don't have you got to throw out the last game. I was talking about it the last couple days where you have to throw out the last game and you have to look at it from the bigger picture. And the Giants at home have been decent, especially with Dart. This is the 2nd game in a row at home. They've played very, very well. Division game, short week. Getting 8 points. I mean, again, we could be talking about a different narrative today. It still doesn't matter. If you play the system and you trust your strategy long term, this is why we win. I mean, this is why we win. It's not because of the individual game. It's you're trusting the system.
Yeah. But let's see where they go from here, both these teams. So all of a sudden, the NFC East is back up for grabs.
Chris kind of sounds like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. So is she a great big fat girl? Like, you know, it's you kind of got that with the nasally thing going on.
Say it one more time.
Say, was she a great big fat girl? Yeah. You about a size 18? Yeah, it's.
Damn, so you saw my ex too.
Did you give her the hose again?
The radiator hose.
Sprayer in the backyard. Well, let's get it. I got nothing else at this point.
Chris is so out of it, man.
I'm so hopped up on meds. I'm just like, I'm trying to focus, and it's just like, ooh, a butterfly. It's just,
what kind of meds are you taking?
Huh?
What kind of meds? The good meds?
The good kind.
They give you the good kind in Canada. They don't allow them to have.
Yeah,
we're not allowed to have nice things here.
Free healthcare.
Let's Was that the Chris Berman bit?
Might have been. Man. All right. We got Major League Baseball. Game 5. Tigers, Mariners. Skubal and Kirby. The Tigers laying -125 on the road. Costy, what do you see? Your total set at 6.
I'm riding Detroit here. Skubal to get rocked twice in the same series. This was game 1. Now they're playing in this decisive game. I still think Detroit and Skubal can get enough done to have it's going to be a tight game, but I think he's going to pull it out and they're going to advance.
Jeremy?
Yeah, so with this, it's like, okay, we got Skubal, and I think the conventional wisdom says you're going to bet on him. He's not going to get beat twice in a series. But I don't think you have to beat him. I think you have to outlast him. And for some reason, I feel like this game's going to come down to the bullpen. I'm not picking a side because I feel like Cossie does. If you force me to pick, I take the Tigers. The way the money's coming in, it makes me want to take Seattle. But I can't get past the total. You got 6. I've seen some 5.5s out there. The only time I've ever seen 5.5s have been pitchers pitching in Wrigley Field when the wind's blowing in at an unbelievable rate. And now we're in a dome and it's 5.5. I'm taking the under. I'm staying with it. I know it's a tough button to click, but I think we're looking at like a 1-1 game in the 7th, and it comes down to the bullpens.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You just got to outlast Skubal. The problem is that I don't know if I trust that. Because Skubal could easily go 7-8 innings in this game if he manages his pitch count right. Now, granted, that being said, the Tigers have lost 4 of his last 5 starts. So I wouldn't be upset with anyone taking Seattle just because Skubal isn't necessarily an auto bet. I mean, he is on the surface. He should be on the surface, especially when you're getting a cheap price. But I think that just shows you that he's not, impervious to taking losses. Like, he can be beat. That being said, as a Blue Jays fan, I'd rather play the Tigers here because I think that the Mariners have one of the better, if not the best, 1 through 5 when healthy in the American League. But I also think Skubal just handles business here. It was just a lack of offense in game 1 that couldn't get by, but I think that they back him up enough to get the win today. So,
hey Chris, who do you think the Blue Jays would rather face? Because I feel like it's the Tigers because Skubal couldn't pitch until game 3. But do you have a preference on who you'd rather face?
The Blue Jays are going to obviously say they want to play. They'll play anyone. But if it's me, I'm taking the Tigers because, like you said, Skubal can't start till game 3. And realistically, who has the better? Like I said, who has the better 1 through 5? You have to face the likes of Kirby. If you're facing Seattle, you have to face Kirby, Gilbert, Bryce Miller, potentially Brian Wu, and Luis Castillo. If you're facing Detroit, you face Skubal, Jack Flaherty, Casey Mize, potential bullpen game against a shaky bullpen at that. And for me, if I'm facing Seattle, it's almost like facing the Yankees again. You got to deal with a big home run threat in Cal Raleigh. You got to deal with a team that can get timely hits as well. I'm not saying Detroit can't do that, but for me, Detroit doesn't have that one major home run threat. Especially if you're going to put a guy like Max Scherzer or Chris Bassett on the championship series roster, knowing that they may have to pitch a game on the road. I don't know. So I'd rather face Detroit personally. But I don't know. We're just gonna see because you don't normally get Skubal at this kind of price. That's what's a little bit unnerving. But I guess it's game 5.
If anybody gets the ball in a closeout game in a series, giving the ball to Skubal, I mean that's
what you want.
Oh, of course, that's why you fight to get the game 5 if you're the Tigers, not just to keep your season alive, but to get your ace on it out. I would say with the Blue Jays and Wednesday, I was just like, if you have to throw your Savage out there, you throw him out for an inning. I was starting to get a little bit dicey with Hoffman when he wasn't having control on his slider, but you got it figured out. Now we get to get these guys rested. But all right, move on to college football. Decent college football card today. So yesterday wasn't the best college football day, but 1-1. Jerry, did you have any college football yesterday?
I'm 3-0 this week in college football. I hit Wednesday night with Liberty, and I hit two games last night. It's gone pretty well for me, and tonight's kind of the same thing with I got 3 plays tonight, so I do like these games. I think they're interesting. I talked a little bit about the Washington game where, I'm on the total here, full disclosure, but I did think Washington was was the best side of this game. Just looking at it, I feel like watching this Washington team, that was a big win they got on the East Coast, and I think they're a little bit better than we think. You go back and look at the Ohio State game and how they played. So that was one. On the flip side, I looked at some of the other totals as well in the other games. Colorado State and Fresno. I think Colorado State's a live dog, and I think South Florida is interesting on the road, plus the 1.5 or whatever it is. But, yeah, I got all 3 up as premium plays. You guys can check them out there.
Yeah, I got the one I like here, especially a lot, is Washington. Hell, if it makes them as a premium, there you go. You get a premium from me today, but because there's a chance it's still right. But this Rutgers defense is problematic. 31 points to Minnesota, 38 to Iowa. We've seen in the last couple of years, in the era of Stanford and Cal in the ACC, Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC in the Big Ten, these cross-country trips never go well. Especially for the team, going west, or if we've seen it with some of these Pac-12 teams going back east. But I think Rutgers struggles here. I think this is a game where Washington just runs all over Rutgers here. Wasn't one of the best. I thought at the time Washington was, had better skill players than Ohio State when they played them. It didn't pan out, but I still think this is still a Washington. It's got, a dynamic running back in Jonah Coleman. It's just a really, really solid offense, and I think Rutgers is in trouble here. I think Washington wins this one by at least 2 touchdowns, so I'm going Washington. And I also like the over in North Texas, USF. Costi?
Yeah, I'm been riding between all my networks, man. 3-0 this week in college football. I'm with Jeremy. I had Liberty. I Kennesaw State last night, which was, I believe, the wrong team was favored there. Love them all the way. Home team, they just destroyed Louisiana Tech. And then also I had Missouri State. So I was 2-0 2 days ago, 1-0 last night. So been seeing the board really well from all of my networks, which is how it usually is when we get into October. Now that we have a sample size, it usually improves. And you could even look on the PickDawgz leaderboard. You start seeing people climb up in October because the data from the season, because the preseason is September, first 2 weeks of September. That's the preseason for college football. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of the season. So it's a great opportunity for anybody that's a non-subscriber to join Jeremy or Chris in college football, or even myself, because it seems like everybody's just racking up wins right now. But back to the games. I'm still on the South Florida train. They play better competition. They've been better, in my opinion, than North Texas. North Texas is 5-0, and I think that's why they're the favorite at home. This is going to be a high-scoring game, but just a better resume for South Florida. Much better resume than North Texas. They had that one blimp on their schedule, in my opinion, the top 3 team in the country here. So I'm sticking with South Florida here on the money line.
I'm not going to let you slide that Kennesaw State being the team that should have been favored in that game.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how you got there. That's all. Without hindsight.
It's not. So when you run the power number, when you actually make an outlaw number on the game and you set the line on the game beforehand, I believe maybe not a complete favorite, but -1 +1 is where I set it at. Not a 7-point dog at home. They just the way that the schemes are for both the teams, I believe that Kennesaw State, the way they run their offense, was going to be advantageous against Louisiana Tech, and their defense showed up, and offensively they scored 35 points, and they were basically a wire-to-wire win for them.
Yeah, I was on Kennesaw last night, and I think the Georgia Southern over was my other play. But I was happy to see Kennesaw, like they get down 7-0 and basically just score the rest of the way.
Yeah, La Tech. I was buying into them being the best team in Conference USA, and they just put up a dud. I mean, I think they were up to that point, in fairness, but they just put up a clunker. I just thought Kennesaw, they got blown out in their first 2 games. I was really impressed with them in the last 3, but they showed something against La Tech last night. But I'm just happy Southern Miss held on for the money line win. That's what I had, -150 against Georgia Southern. 28.5. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the wheels almost fell off the cart, but
that line, and actually, if you bet that game late, it moved to 3. So this is the difference between being a sharp or being a square. Squares bet late, sharps bet early. So if you bet the game early in the day and you got one of the plays from Chris, even, well, Chris had the money line, but even everybody on the site that had that play did not have that bad line because they released the games early. So it says something. Not saying it's always going to come down to the closing number, but if you bet that game at post because you got off work and you decided, hey, I'm going to bet this game tonight with just an opinion, you got a bad line and you lost that game, while most people that bet it early won.
All right, move on to the WNBA. Season could be over tonight.
They're still playing. They're still playing.
Yeah, in past seasons it would have been over by now.
Oh,
but now they're going best of 7.
Oh, the women basketball league.
Yes.
Okay.
Hater.
Right. Aces Mercury. Aces laying 2.
Jeremy, you weren't on the show earlier in the year where I said they should make it 9-foot hoops so that we can get some dunks involved.
Oh man, you want the athleticism picked up. It's a pure game of basketball watching the ladies.
Yeah, Aces laying 2. I'm going with the Aces here. I think the season's done. Phoenix was having a hard time, getting over the hump, and that was with Satu Sabali in the lineup. Now she's missing this game with a concussion. I know that's baked in the line. The line's moved in Phoenix's favor despite that, and I'm not normally one to just say, oh, well, one player makes a difference, but this is a player that makes a difference. She had 24 points in that last game before leaving with the concussion, and she's one of the massive pieces for that Phoenix team. For me, I see the Aces win this one. They've just been too much at the best of times. So give me the Aces here.
Yeah,
Cassie's got nothing. So Jeremy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it feels like Cancun on 3 for Phoenix the way it's going, but weird things happen in these games. I am on Vegas the same way you are, for all the same reasons you just talked about. One of the things I just wanted to point out about this game is I talk about elimination games all the time and how they end up slowing down. And it's weird when you get to a game like 3-0, sometimes we see one of these crazy games where one team just blows out the other one and you're like, oh my God. But blowouts usually go under the total. You've got that snail pace you get in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying all of them. We have seen teams just shoot it out, but I would lean towards the under in here as well.
Mr. Whiskers, I have a 14-inch vertical. So
you can't dunk on a 7-foot rim.
I always say Mr. He always comments Mr. Whiskers. I don't see Whiskers. I see Mr. Whiskers.
I dunked on a hoop twice in my life, and nobody saw it. I called all my friends to come down. I finished mowing the lawn at my house. We had a basketball court behind my house. And for people, I played basketball in high school and college. I know I look like it. But I dunked. I was mowing the lawn, got done. And I don't know what was going on. I just had went up to finger roll it, and I realized I was over the hoop, and I gave it what I like to call an aggressive layup, a soft flush. So then I can palm a basketball. So I palmed the ball and went up and dunked it again. Before the ball hit the pavement going through the net, I ran home and called everybody to come down. Turned into that damn Sprite commercial. I landed on my neck trying to show off, and that was it.
You should have got those. Remember in the 90s, they had those strength shoes?
Yeah, I almost got those, but let's be honest. Athleticism and jumping through the roof wasn't necessarily going to be my primary. Wasn't going to be my strong suit.
It can't be for all of us.
If we combine all of us on the show right now, we have a 40-inch vertical. All three.
I'd like to see what mine is now.
Damn, so Jeremy's got a 24-inch vertical.
I don't know if I can jump over a dime these days.
Jeremy's like that thing where it's like where you jump on a trampoline, then you try to jump when you get on solid ground. You can't. It's just like that. Anyways, sorry, I'm feeling like absolute ass. I'm trying to take my mind off it. Costi, what's going on over at Safer Syndicate Group before we get into the circuit picks?
So we have a lot of things going on and a lot of different groups that I represent. There's going to be a lot more that are going to be more relevant that you guys will hear about, but this is designed for bigger players. And I don't say this to be mean to people that don't have big bankrolls, but if you come in either from the Jeremy Kahn funnel, which is his inner circle, these are the rated games. The guy's up. He could quote me on this. I think over 35 units in the last.
Well, I won 10 more yesterday, so we're up 45.
So if you're riding $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 bet, you're up 45K in less than 3 weeks. So I place you in these programs based on your comfort level or who you want to represent you as we attack these basketball markets starting in 2 weeks and football markets. So you can reach me by going to Safer Syndicate Group on Premium Picks. There's a phone number listed. All you have to do is call. There's no commitment, but I could guarantee you if you're going to treat it like a business, not a hobby, you will be very successful just like us.
Jeremy, what do you got going on over at PickDawgz Premium Chase where you can find your best bets?
Yeah, I mean, I've been, as Costi pointed out, I've been killing it, especially on the inner circle. Just been really hot over the past few weeks, and Costi could be the one to tell you I started off terrible, and I dug myself out of all that and back up some more. So it's been a really nice couple of weeks. NFL's been very kind to me, even with my 2 losses this week on Monday and Thursday. But I love this weekend slate. I think it's a perfect time to pair any of us up, get that 3-day pass, get all the football plays starting today with tonight's college football, and roll into it. Because Saturday, I've already got 6 plays up for Saturday and 5 up for Sunday. And I may add a few more because the more and more I'm handicapping, I'm seeing more and more games that look interesting. So, yeah, definitely check it out if you get a chance. You guys can go over there and there's a lot of great handicappers. I'm confident in what I've been doing. And baseball playoffs, WNBA playoffs, they've all been good to me. NFL's been the kindest.
Definitely check Jeremy out over at PickDawgz Premium. For me, it's just one play on the board today. I'm a college football play of the day. Really feel locked in on it. It's really one of my favorite plays of the week so far. But it's a great time to jump on because, like Jeremy was saying, we got the full slate of college football this weekend. 3-day pass will get that for you. Normally go a little bit more high volume on college football Saturday. We're going to see what I have tomorrow. But, locking in on that, locking in on the NFL on Sunday. Had a great NFL weekend last week. 6-0 if you include just the Sunday and Monday games alone. So make sure that you check that out. Pair me up with Jeremy. Pair us up with any of the other captures of the website. Whatever you do, though, use that promo code PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. But time to get on to the circa picks. I think we did 1 and 4 last week. I can't remember. I think that's what it was.
Oofa.
Yep, I just posted it. The first game is the international game. Broncos -7, taking their talents across the pond here against the Jets. So what do you think about that game, Jeremy?
This is probably my least favorite game of the day. At some point, the Jets have to show up. Did Denver stay on the East Coast when they went and beat Philly this past week? I'm wondering if they stayed or if they flew over early. But I do think the travel could have an impact the same way I think it's going to have in some other games. But if you force me to pick this game, I think I'd take the Jets plus the points as much as that is a vomit pick.
Chris? Right?
Yeah, that's a vomit pick. Give me Denver. Until I see the Jets show some semblance of life, it's gonna be I'm gonna fade them. That's just me though.
Yeah, definitely is a vomit pick for me as well. Probably, in my opinion, if I had a choice of a circa pick, I wouldn't touch this game. It's too high of a number. It's right on that key number of 7, which means pushes don't make you money in the contest. You need to win the games. And I could see us being a backdoor cover and the Jets cover the 7 here. So, gun to my head, I had to make a pick. I'm going to go with the Broncos. So that one got Broncos 68%. Okay. Next one up is going to be the Browns plus 5.5 at Steelers. Jeremy?
Oh, you mean I didn't know if you were going to Chris.
Yeah, we'll just keep it. We'll just keep the
Okay.
same order. We want to hear from you first on everything.
Yeah, I'll be brief. No, this is the other game that I think really stands out, and it's one where I'm going to be with the public, and that's not normal for me. But I like Pittsburgh here. The Browns are coming off of this is essentially a back-to-back road game since they went over to London and played. The 5-hour travel. Remember, they used to give teams bye weeks after going to London or going overseas to play. You would have your bye week afterwards. Some teams said they didn't want that because they like having their bye week later in the year. But you can really see how it affects teams coming back. And looking at a rookie quarterback that's going up his first true road game, but going up against a defense that's had 2 weeks to get ready for him. I think this is a MC Hammer Puffy Pants game. I think the Steelers win and cover.
You leave my MC Hammer Puppy Pants out of this.
Ho.
Do the
Which
thing.
call
It's like
me?
this. What? It's like this.
What are you doing, the Charleston over there?
Careful, Costy's sciatica might act up if he does that again.
You might hurt mine doing it. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers too. I think Jeremy laid it out perfectly. It's just a really crappy spot for Cleveland to be in. So give me the Steelers.
I think we're unanimous here. I'm with the Steelers as well. The Browns are going to have a very tough time moving the ball here on the road. Dylan Gabriel the game is just too fast for him still. And I don't think he has anybody on the outside. I think Judkins is the one bright spot in that offense right now. But the Steelers are just known when they play the Browns to shut down the run game because that's all they really have had over the years. Steelers do enough. I don't love this one either. I think it's a big number, 5.5. I hate taking 4.5s and 5.5 favorites. I just don't like it. Because if a team's not good enough to be 7 at home, basically on a neutral field, they're saying that Steelers are only a 3-point favorite. I don't know. Something just stinks about this game, but I'm going to, for the sake of the show, I'm going to have a lean on the Steelers. And it looks like the public here is with us as well, where it's not a big Steelers output, 53% for the Steelers. So don't think that one's going to make the circa. Next one.
53?
Yeah, 53.
For the Steelers?
Well, it just went to 55. Yep. 55.
I got it here.
Okay, next one up, we're going to do Colts at home laying 7 against the Cardinals. Ugh, Cardinals, man.
Yeah, I don't like this game either. This would be one that I wouldn't even mess with. Conventional wisdom would tell you that you expect the Colts to be better. Arizona with the just such an embarrassing loss on Sunday. You have to factor they're going to come back and play better. The one caveat is, do we know if Kyler Murray is going to go? I think he's going to play. But they were kind of being
yesterday.
Yeah, they were kind of being a little coy about that. But I think I would take Arizona plus the points. But let me just say this: anytime that I'm indifferent on a game, I'm more than likely taking the dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts here. Maybe it's a fade of
Really?
Yeah,
Jay's not. You're just doing it because Jay's not here.
No, I'm doing it because it's a fate of the Cardinals and not necessarily backing the Colts. But I'd be blind to just not acknowledge what the Colts did to the Raiders. And the fact that I think the Cardinals are broken. If the Cardinals play a team with a pulse, they're going to get crushed.
How did Kyler Murray get hurt with an errant snap that hit his face mask? Because he didn't even dive for the ball. He let the guy fall on it, and then all of a sudden he's in the locker room. What did he hurt? Yeah. His pride?
Yeah.
That's the best. How did you get hurt? It hit you in the face. Somehow your ankle twisted.
He looked like Cam Newton in the Super Bowl when that fumble happened, where he's just looking at the ball on the ground and he sees somebody dives for it, and then he starts to go in like he's going to get it.
I mean, even that and seeing that type of play. So it's funny, on Monday you bring up somebody falling. They do the fake play where you fake the fall, but then it's really just a design play. Mm-hmm. Well, Monday night, I think Chris Jones thought it was a fake play because he did not finish that play whatsoever.
He deleted his social media because he got so much criticism. Yeah. I told my co-host about it, and they finally saw it this morning. He just stands up and does nothing on the final play of the game that his team's trying to win.
Right. For him to fall, I mean, the narrative, we could be having a completely different narrative for Jacksonville right now, where they lost another close game to a better team. They'll never be able to get over the hump. And all of a sudden, because of that one play, that's why I love the NFL so much. That one play, the whole narrative for the season changes. Liam Cohen is now this ultimate coach. All these things where if it was the other way, now Liam Cohen can only beat the bad teams, can't beat the good teams. It's the NFL and the narratives change like crazy week to week. But yeah, that was just interesting where people thought that is Trevor Lawrence really just faking it and he fell on purpose? And no, that was not the case. But back to this game. I'm on the Colts here. I think 7's the right number on the game, but I think they win this game by double digits. Ever since the James Conner injury, the Cardinals are broken. They're not able to hold leads. They're not able to get those tough yards in the fourth quarter, that bell cow that they had that was able to churn out the clock and get first downs. And Kyler Murray has all the weapons. He has McBride, who is an elite tight end. He's not using him correctly. Now, Marvin Harrison did get out of that slump after the drops in the first half of, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And since then, he's actually been playing pretty well. But they don't have a backfield. And right now, the best option is Michael Carter. That's not going to cut it. The Colts defense is very opportunistic. The Colts offense is scoring points at will. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Indiana Jones is not making mistakes. This team at home is very, very dangerous. So I like the Colts here laying the 7. And the community is with me as well. 75% on the Colts. All right, let's keep it moving. Rams versus the Ravens. 7.5, Jeremy.
All right, so I'm here in Baltimore as well as Costi, and Ravens are getting healthier, if that does anything for you. Patrick Ricard, their big fullback, which is a huge part of their running game, back at practice. Marlon Humphrey, Kyler Murray, I still got him on the mind. Kyle Hamilton, back at practice. They're even talking about Roquan, even though I don't think he gives it a go. The Ravens have a bye next week. So anybody that really needs rest, you can get them a few more weeks of rest by, not playing them this week. So it's interesting to see what they do. This feels like that reverse, and I'm not doing this because I'm a homer. This feels like that reverse lock because there's not a single thing here that tells you to take the Ravens. So I'm taking the Ravens plus a 7.5.
Yeah, Rams for me. Plain and simple. Until I have confirmation this team is fully healthy, it's going to be no Moss for me in this one. I just can't get there. Like Jeremy said, they are starting to get healthier, which is a sign of things moving in the right direction for the Ravens. But I'll tell you, it's still just so incredibly hard.
Chris, they're also calling for like a nor'easter up here, depending on it's going to be a ton of rain. So we're not going to get the snow of that. I don't know how you feel if we get a torrential downpour, does that affect you in looking at the line, or do you just think everything favors the Rams in this no matter what?
Oh no, I have to hand the ball to Kyron Williams 30 times. Oh boy. Hold me back.
He's been a little slippery with the ball of late too. So not
Yeah,
that
well,
means anything.
Baltimore's defense has been slippery with giving up points. So
at a very high rate.
At a very high rate.
Oh man. What happened? I feel like this is what I always say. Imagine like it's August and you get in an accident and you have to go in a coma. And you're in a coma. And you wake up and it's today.
Yeah.
And you look at you go, what? What happened? You can't even make this shit up.
Yeah. Dude, they had at the beginning of the year, Costa, I thought they were going to have a generational team.
Yes.
This is the exact opposite of generational. This is like they had so much talent on both sides of the ball. And you talk about what a win and a loss does for you. And going back to losing 41-40 to the Bills, imagine winning that game and how they feel with the Ravens being 2-0 after beating Cleveland and then going on. But man, they got 7 All-Pros that are out.
They are getting some guys back. Kyle Hamilton did practice.
Ronnie Stanley too.
Ronnie Stanley
he was limited, but he practiced.
I've been wrong on the Ravens and some of these things year after year. Like you just stick on a team and you just ride the system. And again, getting the 7.5 at home, this still is an NFL team. I think the Rams win, the Ravens cover. That's my breakdown on the game. I think a lot of people are going to be taking the Rams and telling me on Monday in the comments that I'm an idiot. But this is still an NFL team. They still have a lot of. Chris, you just keep. Oh, I was looking at the wrong. They still have a lot of pride at home.
No, they don't.
I think there's going to be an added element with the loss of a very famous captain defense.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to fight for him in this one game.
No, they won't.
Yeah, we had a Ravens super fan.
I feel like that episode of The Simpsons where they did like the Prohibition episode and they have the guy that's trying to figure out who the beer baron is. And the guy's like, I'm going to find you, beer baron. No, you won't. Yes, I will. No.
Oh, man.
The community does not think, Jeremy, you and I will get this one right. 71% to the Rams. All right, let's keep it moving here. We have a coin flip game. We have the Seahawks and the Jags.
Duval. I'm going with the Jags here. Liam Cohen. You know that meme of the guy turning around looking at the other girl when he's with his girl.
Yeah,
that was me arm in arm with Mike McDaniel because I loved that guy right before he took over for Miami, and now I'm checking out Liam Cohen. I think he's brilliant, man. I think from designing plays to calling play, I feel like he does a phenomenal job. Seattle team's banged up. They're traveling 4,000 miles to play a 1:00 game. I feel like there's a lot of edges here. Jacksonville did have the short week, but give me the Jags at home.
Yeah, the Jags too. I think I think you look at the narrative of potential letdown after such a big win for the Jags. I get it, but like Jeremy said, I think this Jaguars team has some swagger under Liam Cohen. You've seen teams buy into year one of a new head coach. We saw it with the Giants. It didn't happen in year one. I think it was year 2, but they bought into Brian Daboll. They played hard for Brian Daboll. We're seeing it right now with the Jags with Liam Cohen. I like this Jaguars team a lot. And I'm not necessarily saying they're going to, win the Super Bowl, but this is going to be a team you got to watch out for. It's going to be a team that's going to break some hearts this year. And cross-country road trip, definitely a tough spot to be into. So even on a short week, I like the Jags too.
I'm with you guys. I'm on the Jags at home. I think I believe the odds makers have this one wrong. If these two teams were playing on a neutral field, you're basically saying that the Seahawks are a 3-point favorite. I don't see that. I think these teams are equal, but the Jags have home field advantage. Yes, a short week coming off Monday night, but they came out pretty healthy in that game. The Jags have a very opportunistic defense. The Seahawks are not closing games. Darnold's making mistakes late. As good as the Seahawks are and as good as the defense is, I think the Jags played a better team on Monday Night Football. I think Kansas City's better than the Seahawks. It's going to be a tough place to play, and I'm not buying the letdown spot here. I think the Jags get it done at home. I think they should be a favorite, not a pick 'em. And we have to close down the poll. Only 58% on the Jags. I don't know if that's going to make the cut. 58%. Next one up, we have the Cowgirls. Well, now they're back to the boys. The Cowboys going on the road, laying 3 at Panthers, Jeremy.
Yeah, I wish Jay was here so I could tell him that I think the Panthers win this game and they're a better team. We got the Cowboys on back-to-back road games. I think when you look at it, the best unit on the field is going to be the Cowboys offense. Dak's great. Pickens has been involved. And one of the things I would tell people is the running back there, why did I just blank on his name? The kid from Javonte Williams. He's from Carolina. He bought tickets for an entire section. I'm sure he's going to be touching the ball. I will be betting him an anytime touchdown, all that stuff. It's a great story. He's definitely going to get his touches and score. But I think Carolina overall, from a defensive and offensive standpoint, includes special teams. I think they're the better team. I think they win here.
I don't have a side this one right now. I'm leaning the over. I just, two teams that right now can't stop a nosebleed. I know Carolina shut out, Atlanta at home, but I think there's going to be some points scored in this game. Both offenses have been capable. Dallas has the highest scoring offense in the league. Carolina's been putting up some points lately, so give me the over here. I like the over in this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a letdown spot for the Cowboys. I think there's also another narrative, Jeremy. Rico Dowdle.
Oh, yeah.
Starting running back for the Panthers, who was let go, who had 200 yards last week against the sinking Miami Dolphins, now he's facing his old team. So maybe I could interest you in a Dowdle anytime and a Javonte Williams anytime touchdown.
If you're playing daily fantasy, I think this is a great game stack. There's like 3 or 4 of them this weekend, and I'd have no problem going in there and betting an anytime touchdown for Dowdle and Javonte.
Yeah, I just don't see a lot of people are going to back the Panthers this week. And I think 3 points from a betting standpoint, I think it's going to decide the game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I'd rather have the points in my back pocket here, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers just won this game because of Dallas's horrible defense.
You know what you should do is bet the Cowboys in the first half and bet the Panthers in the second, because they've been such a second half team. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah. Have we talked about other games? Have we talked about other games where you like a stack up to this point?
So far, I'm trying to.
You got me curious now, because I'm like that's actually not a bad call.
I like the
We're not talking about a crab stack, Chris. We're talking about football stack.
No, I like the Saints game a lot. That's my favorite game this weekend. And yeah, the Jags is another one. And I think the Bucks and 49ers game. I mean, if you keep looking at the 49ers, you check out props. Christian McCaffrey has a higher reception prop than like 95% of the receivers in this league. It's absurd, man. So yeah, there's a couple of great game environments there.
All right, let's keep it moving. The poll is done, and we have 73%
Cowboys.
Yeah, it's making it.
All right, next one up, we're doing Chargers 4-point favorite on the road against the Dolphins.
It's another spot here, man, where this Chargers team is completely banged up. You're going to see the transition. They made the trade in the middle of the week, so Odafe Owe will be out there for him. Their safety, the Samoan missile, comes to Baltimore. They lost their starting running back. Their left tackle's still out. There's injuries galore all over this team. And just like when we talked about traveling all those miles, 4,000 miles from Seattle, it ain't no peach either coming from where they're at to go to Miami and try to play. Give me Miami plus the points. I think I think they went outright.
Chris?
Yeah, if I had to pick this thing, I'm going Chargers. I just don't. Again, I don't trust the Dolphins. It's not that I just love on the Chargers here. I just can't rely on Miami to do anything for me. So,
well, the good news is Tua said whether he throws 5 picks or 5 touchdowns, his kids still love him. So he's got that going for him.
You can't count to 5. Only when you count how many concussions he's had.
I think Cam Scadaboo is gonna contest everybody on this concussion protocol before the end of the season.
Oh, jeez.
At Arizona State, he's banging his head against the wall.
His mom said when he was a little kid, she got him a football helmet and he would just run into the telephone poles in the neighborhood.
Is that serious?
That does not surprise me.
It's not surprising.
So funny. Have you seen the Giants players mocking him? Like they asked him to imitate it. It's hilarious as they all get up shaking their heads.
Listen, it's for the Giants to have this much hype. I give them the respect. I mean, because look, the fans have been struggling as a New York fan, period, Jets or Giants. So good for them. And they beat the Eagles, which I'm happy about. For me, I'm not going to bet this game, but it's got to be Dolphins or pass. Chargers are just really struggling. And you have Herbert, who's now throwing a lot more interceptions. He's not having the protection like he had early in the season. Marion Hampton out is going to be a factor. Already not down Najee. They can't grind away at the end of the game and chew up the clock. Defensively, they're not as stout as they were early in the season. And they were exposed last week, even with a lead early in that game against Washington. The Dolphins sneakingly, even though they can't run and they can't stop the run, they can still throw the ball. And the fact is, in their home stadium, I think they can get enough done to cover the 4 points. I think it might be a Chargers last second win here, whoever has the ball last, but I'd rather have the 4 points in my back pocket. So Dolphins for me. And that one, I'm ending it now, is 58% of the Dolphins. All right. I like that.
Kind of surprised me. I thought people would go the other way. By the way, it's weird that the Dolphins offense looks better without Tyreek Hill.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers knocked out.
What is it? Do you think it's they look better without him for the game, or it's going to hurt them in the long run?
Oh, it hurts you in the long run because he's so talented. But I also think it's weird when somebody gets hurt and he's got to be the vocal point. He's got to be the guy you want to feed. And when he's not getting the ball, you can't tell me that cat's not vocal in the locker room or to the coaches about it. Maybe it just takes away some of the stress that you have back there. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're better off without having one of the fastest receivers in football. But they did look better last week.
Yeah, and I think Darren Waller's come in and right out the gate and producing, and you have Waddle who's doing well. I mean, they're a team that's going to disappoint you time and time again, but they're still going to win a couple games. And I think this
Achan's been special, and then Ollie Gordon's a great backup. So if anything happens to him, I think Ollie could take off and be a number one in this league.
Yeah. They still don't use Achan. They don't run the ball. They just don't run the ball. All right. Next one up, Jeremy. 49ers are a 3-point underdog going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more interesting games of the day. We've been talking about Baker Mayfield and what he's done, willing his team to win. I thought that was such a huge win for them going into Seattle. And granted, they needed some help and some goofy things to happen, but it worked out. And that's what this team's been doing. Still no Bucky. I don't think Mike Evans is coming back this week. I haven't seen how long they expect him out, but I don't expect that. But Igbuka, or Beep Bop Boop Boop, as Rob Gronkowski called him, he's just been great for them. And I feel like that system's going to run well. I like Tampa here for the pick, but I think the over in this game is probably the best play.
Christopher?
Beep Bop Boop Boop. I'm taking San Fran and the points. I like what I've seen from I've never seen from. Can't believe we would say this. Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Who?
That's actually how I sound today. I don't know. I think that this Tampa team profile is better as an underdog. And I don't know. I like what I've seen from San Francisco. I think in a coin flip matchup, you're giving me around a field goal. Give me Tampa Bay.
I'm buying in to this Bucks game, to this Bucks team. They've proven enough to me. With guys going down, they're still resilient. Who do I want to have in the fourth quarter with the ball? Mac Jones or Baker? That's how I look at this game, as a coin flip, 3-point. I like the Bucks at home. I think the more you start to see Mac Jones and the more tape, even though they've had tape on him in the past and on other teams, but now I still think he's going to be limited. I don't know if Pearsall's back yet. I don't know if Kittle's back yet. Granted, Christian McCaffrey's getting all the receptions on that team anyway. I think it's going to be hard for them to win this game in a tough place to play. You know, I'm mad at myself that I did not draft Ibuka in any of my fantasy leagues. Now, does it, you know, is he going to be as good as he is right now if Mike Evans was fully healthy? Probably not. He's taken away that target share. Godwin is obviously old and he's not taking anything from him, but man, this kid is just an elite route runner. I love big receivers that can catch the ball with their hands. And Baker and him are just dialed in. I don't think the loss of Bucky Irving is a big deal. Rashad White stepped in, and he's a very formidable backup. I like the home team here. I think the Bucks they're putting something together here. They're the opposite of what the Eagles are trending. They're the team that's closing games and getting W's, and the Eagles are going the reverse. So they're that Eagles game away from being really good. You know, they flipped the script there in that game, and we're talking about the Bucks as one of the better teams, if not the best team in the league. I think you're getting a discount here with 3, so I'll lay the 3 here with Bucks. I think the line should have been 4.5, but they're putting too much credit to Mac Jones, who last year we talked about as an anytime pick is the best bet every week. Anytime interception.
What quarterbacks can't turn it around?
Not saying that. I just don't think he's a great talent. I think he's in a decent system right now, and he had a good game. And he's had a couple good games, but I don't believe he's a really good quarterback.
Sound like me with Daniel Jones.
I think he's white trash Brock Purdy. That's what I think. I think they're the same guy. I like everybody that was praising Brock Purdy. I think he's just another guy, and this is Kyle Shanahan's system. And I mean, he's brilliant. It just makes you wonder why he can't get over the hump.
Well, it's the Shanahan system. That's what.
It's the Shanna plan.
It's the Shanna plan. All right, next one up here we have.
What was that one?
Oh, that was 70%. Sorry, that was Bucks 70%. Yep. Next one up, we have the Titans against the Raiders. Great game.
Yeah, the
Raiders are 4.5.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, which turd flushes first? God, this is such an ugly game. But again, like I think I'd take the Raiders here. I can't give you a good reason why. I don't like either one of these teams right now with the way they've been playing. Geno was so bad last week. It's like he's got to be better this week, right? Give me the Raiders.
This is as close to a finger roll layup as Jeremy's dunk on a 7-foot rim. Tennessee money line. Until Geno shows me that he can throw less than 3 picks in a game at home.
He can. It's against the Titans.
Geno Smith is one of those exceptions to the rule where it doesn't matter. He can 3 of us, we could be playing 11-on-3, me, you, and Jeremy. I'll be the line. Costi can be the linebacker, and Jeremy can be in the secondary, and Geno Smith will find a way to throw 3 interceptions.
I mean, we would between the 3 of us put Josh Allen out there. We get 3 picks. Do you know what Jeremy's and I pedigree in flag football? Do you understand?
No.
We faced off in the championship game, And Jeremy does a lot of holding. Offensively, there's a lot
Get
of
out
holding,
of here.
a lot of grabbing.
For being a fat white guy like
Jeremy, you coming to
myself,
March
Costi
Madness?
does a lot of grabbing.
Jeremy,
No,
coming to March.
no.
Not the case, Jeremy. You better be coming to March Madness because.
I'll be out there. I'll be grabbing. So let's see if I can make it.
I'm unfortunately, that's when my baby girl is going to be due. So I don't know.
Well, just tell her to hold it in for another week so you can get out to Vegas.
Yeah. Hope she's not watching this. I'm not going. I'm not going. I never said I was going.
Yes, you did. Why?
You know what's going to happen, Costi, is you don't go out there, and then Chris is going to do a twirl for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Fine. I don't even want to pick this game anymore.
You didn't want to pick it to begin with.
I did not want to pick it to begin with. It's hard getting this out. Raiders playing 4.5. Oh,
disgusting.
There's reasons disgusting.
I just can't. I don't trust the Titans. If DeMercado doesn't do that last week, it's a blowout again. They're not coming back. It's a blowout. We're talking about this Titans team as 0-5.
But they still had to come back after that.
Yeah, but it's the momentum. You know how it works in the NFL. It's the momentum. That's something that sparks the momentum. Now they're back in the game. That doesn't happen. You're down so much. You're not running the ball. You're running a completely different offense. It's a completely different narrative. I don't know. Raiders for me.
Do you know what they classify as turnovers in the NFL besides fumbles?
What's that?
Interceptions. You know what else turns the momentum? Interceptions.
Good point. All right, fair enough.
Need I remind you, it's the team that lost to the Chargers 20-9 at home. And then just like the Cardinals did against the Titans, the Raiders choked. They had a lead and gave lead to the Bears in that game.
Ugh. I don't want to touch that game with your unit.
Well, I'm swinging it around in that one.
Patriots 3.5-point favorites.
That one didn't make the list, I'm guessing.
No, I mean that finished at 61%.
What?
I mean, as of right now,
I have the 5 right now. I'm just saying that what did that one finish at?
61%.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so currently we have the Colts,
Broncos, Rams, Colts, Cowboys, Buccaneers.
No, it's Bucks, Cowboys, Rams, Colts, Broncos. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Isn't the Lions going to replace one of those? Isn't the public all over that? I figured most people would be picking them.
Well, we're not there yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Calm down.
Calm down. We're on.
This went from 6 to midnight.
If you stand sideways, it went to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, the little hand went to 3 o'clock.
Patriots 3.5 at 6.
One of them's at 5.
I'll be brief with this. I like points in this game. I think we see some scoring, but I'll take the home team with the hook. Patriots. I like the way they're playing. I just don't know if they should be favored by more than 3 against anyone on the road. That is.
Yeah, there's certain exceptions to that rule as well. And for me, that's the Saints. Give me the Patriots here. Congrats, Spencer Rattler. You got to win. Yeah, there you go.
Snake. The Rattler.
Slithering.
Snake.
Slithering.
Oh, you sneaky snake.
Oh,
God. Yeah, no, give me the Patriots here.
I'm on the Patriots too. I mean, this team, the momentum, I look at it, it's not a letdown spot after beating the Bills. It could be it shifts your entire organization and how you view yourself as a team. The Saints are the Saints for a reason. They're beat up all over the place. The Patriots are very well coached, and they're going to bring their talents to New Orleans in the dirty South and give the Saints a whooping. I'm laying the 3.5 myself with the Patriots. 33 votes, 88%. 88%.
New England?
Yep.
Jeez. I think that's just an inflated sample size.
You're an inflated sample size.
Wow, that was rude.
Yeah, it was very rude. Very rude, sir.
Almost. Never mind.
We have the Packers as the
I'll give you
big D spread of the week.
Mhm.
Give you credit that
14.5.
little comeback was quick. Almost as quick as the shot that now all of a sudden Costy's missing March Madness.
That's the first time I said it openly. I'm not happy about it. It's
I'm not happy either.
now I'm like panicking. How am I to get? How am I?
Are you talking about the
the
trip to Vegas or having a baby? You just said you're not happy about it.
Definitely the trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling what's the
That's what he has
my
to
wife
say
and
publicly.
my wife and I were discussing that we don't want kids. Now we got to go home and tell them. Yeah. Have fun, Costy.
Maybe I could fly her out, and she could just have the baby in Vegas.
Jeremy's just pointing the remote at the kid, trying to press the rewind button, and it's not working.
Which game? Packers? Okay,
Packers
sorry.
14.5 versus Bengals, Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, Joe Flacco's coming in there. You're gonna watch him. At least Jamar Chase and T. Higgins should be a little happier, but I don't know. It better be a lot of 3 and 5 step drops because I don't know they're keeping old man Joe up. Give me the Packers here. It's a big number. I hate big numbers in the NFL. I think there's a reason why it's that big because Cincinnati's defense can't stop a nosebleed, and I think the Packers just run roughshod over them.
If they didn't make the move to Joe Flacco, I would be on Green Bay here. Otherwise, right now it's no play for me, to be honest. It's a massive number, and I just have this dirty feeling that Joe Flacco gets Cincinnati to sneak in the back door. So I want to play Green Bay here, but because ultimately I can't take Cincinnati with that defense. But I just think that it's a significant upgrade at quarterback to Cincinnati's receiving room to have Joe Flacco there over Jake Browning.
I have to say this, Chris. In what world is Joe Flacco going to sneak anything in the back door at this point in his career?
Well, he did it 5 other times, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You keep inching up in years, and you put him behind this
You had to say
stout
inching up.
offensive line, the stout offensive line that has been just doing great for years. And I think it's just going to be another bust for the Bengals. They needed somebody back there who is a little bit more mobile. I think Jameis Winston would have been a better option. I think Joe Flacco, they're trying to just put a stopgap in there before Burrow comes back. But the Burrow injury, that thing lingers. I don't think he's going to come back or be the same this season. The Bengals are in trouble. I still think 14.5 points is a ton of points. And I think the Bengals do just enough to cover the spread. I mean, they were close. They were in it till the end there to cover the 10.5 versus the Lions. So they could sneakily cover this spread. Not a bettable game for me either, but if I had to bet it, I'm taking the points.
How are you going to say sneaking in the back door and then use the words inching up about Joe Flacco?
You said it.
You did.
For me, it's inch up.
Yeah, I was going to say inching.
Singular.
Singular. Well, this one's not making the cut.
Okay.
51% to the Packers.
Ooh.
Oh, Bengals flip-flopped. End the poll. All right. Let's keep it moving here.
Could Flacco be the first quarterback to beat the same team twice in one season?
I know that's the coolest narrative of it all. Like, he's played this defense twice now. And
Well, it's hilarious. He's going to play the Ravens 3 times this year. That's only happened one other time in the NFL. In the regular season, obviously, we've seen teams meet up in the postseason.
Those poor Ravens won't be able to beat him there either.
Now, this one, the game of the week. Chiefs favorite against the stout Lions. Jeremy?
Yeah, I think everybody's misreading this game. I think there's a lot of reasons to like the Chiefs here, and I think it's the first thing you notice when you're looking at the point spread. You go, "Oh, the Chiefs are favored," and then you start thinking about it. The Lions cornerbacks are all banged up. We'll see who plays, who's available, but how limited they are. You look at it from the Kansas City side. We talked about Chris Jones' embarrassing play last week. I bet he plays his ass off this week. The revenge game from last year with Detroit upsetting them. But the most important thing to me when I look at it is I just feel like Steve Spagnuolo, Jared Goff's been fine against him so far. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to have something designed, and I don't think Kansas City's offense is going to have an issue scoring on Detroit. Give me Kansas City minus the 2.5.
It's the battle of two sides for me. You got Patrick Mahomes in his career as a favorite of 3 or less or an underdog where he's been money. But I got to go with the A team. It's been even more money. That's the Detroit Lions. For me, I just think that, while there's a narrative about Jared Goff playing outdoors, for me, that's more about when he has to play in the elements. And I don't think it's going to be that cold enough to where it's going to affect him here. For me, it comes down to this is kind of what the Lions have been up against sort of this entire Goff Campbell era, where it's just like, they're always going to be the bridesmaid, never the bride. They're always going to be, second to whoever they're going up against. Especially some of these bigger name brand teams like the Chiefs. And I just think the Lions can hang here and potentially win this one outright. They've already won in Kansas City before. I'm going to take the Lions here plus the points.
Oh, such a coin flip game. So many other games to worry about and bet on to get more excited about than this. But I'm going to ride the home team. There's a reason why the odds makers made it the Chiefs a favorite. They're basically saying, it's almost a coin flip if they're playing on a neutral field. If they were in a Super Bowl, the Chiefs would get 3 at home. They're only getting 2. So maybe Lions would be -1 in the Super Bowl. If these two teams made it, I still think the Chiefs they're gonna bounce back. I'm starting to see the Chiefs of old with them coming back from injury, having, getting their players back and Xavier Worthy another week of health. They're running.
He didn't
the ball
practice today, though. I mean, I think the offense looks different with him in it, but he didn't practice. Maybe that was yesterday, but one of the days he didn't.
But that could be just in season, nothing too serious. I didn't read anything that said that he wasn't going to play. And probably if I was filling out a circuit contest, I wouldn't bet this game not knowing. This is one of those games you want to bet on Sunday, knowing who's actually going to play. The Lions look unbeatable at this point. They look very dangerous. They look like they can run on anybody, pass on anybody, and their defensive line is getting to the quarterback at a high rate. But the Chiefs are still the Chiefs for a reason, and I'm taking them at home. It's simple as that. Ending this one, and we have – it's not going to make the cut, which is fine. Lions 56%.
I thought that would be way higher.
It was actually toward the end, it flipped. They had the Chiefs originally. They were 50-50, and then it just at the last second flipped.
Yeah, back-to-back road games for the Lions, too. Cincinnati – I guess they were in a prevent, but like scoring some points late as Jamar Chase went off, and I can't fault anybody for him having a great game. But I am interested to see this because I just think Kansas City shows up in this spot.
All right, and then we have the Bills and the Falcons. Bills are a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, in this spot, I'm going to be on the Falcons here. I think coming off their bye and playing at home, I know a lot of people are going to want to play the over, and I totally understand it, but I think the Falcons are a live dog at home. Bills are a good team, but their defense still gives it up. And keep asking Josh to be Superman on the road and see what happens. I think Atlanta covers the spread.
Yeah, this one's tough for me. I think the Bills win this one by a score. I think it's 31-24. I think it's going to be a great game, but I see Buffalo bouncing back on the road here. I still have questions about Michael Penix in big moments. So give me Buffalo in this one.
It's tough. I hate laying 4.5, especially on the road. I like the Falcons. I like them getting points at home. I think to keep this close, I wouldn't be shocked that the Falcons somehow pulled this out. I know that today on a Friday, everybody's going to think I'm nuts, but the Falcons are gritty. They can run the ball. The Bills are not. I don't think they'll be able to stop the dynamic Bijan Robinson coming out of the backfield. They've been opportunistic on defense, and the Bills are, they showed after, and I get it was a division game with the Patriots, and Vrabel's always has a good game plan defensively, but the Bills don't have a lot of talent at the wide receiver position. If you could stop James Cook, you're able to beat this team, and I think you're starting to see it a little bit. Not saying that that's going to be like that the rest of the year, but I think the Falcons could get it done. 4.5 is a lot of points at home in a dome where they just play really well. So Falcons for me plus 4.5, and everybody thinks the opposite of me. Bills 71%.
Ooh.
Yep, Bills 71%, and then lastly,
Edging out the Bucks.
we have the Bears on the road.
Top Bears.
4.5 point underdogs against the Commanders.
We had the same spot last year. This was the Hail Mary game where the defensive back turns around and he's talking to the crowd, and then Washington walks it off. I don't know if that does anything for anyone. I'm not saying it has any type of effect. You may have thought if they had lost the game coming in, revenge game type thing, but Washington's at home. I like the way they looked last week against the Chargers. They started off terrible. It was 10-0, and then had a big play go in their favor, and then after that, they weren't looking back. I'm still going to take Washington. I think they're the better team. I do think Caleb Williams is getting better in that offense, though.
Man. What's this line again?
4.5.
I think I got to lean towards the Commanders here. I wanted to get there with the Bears because, I do think that there's going to be something to be said about, Ben Johnson, this Bears offense figuring out, especially off a bye week. But I still think the Commanders are just a better team, especially now that they're starting to get healthy again. Started to see it against the Chargers. We're going to find out if that game was more about the Chargers offense or about the Commanders being a legit threat. So for me, it's the Commanders here.
Yeah, consensus for me. I think the Commanders, you got Jaden Daniels back last week. And if the running game is going and the rookie is running like he did last week, and again, that could be a lot. That could be said that the Chargers defense is not what it was early in the season, but they just look good. And I still don't know if Terry McLaurin is going to play, but I just think that, Jaden Daniels is one of those players that just you don't have to have the elite talent for him to move the ball. And he's got the poise, and he's at home on Monday Night Football. I think the Bears keep it close early, and then the Commanders cover late. So I'm on the Commanders laying 4.5. And that is probably going to make the circa here. 78%. Closing it down, Commanders 79%.
So we have to have a tie. We have to have a tiebreaker. Rams and Bills. Both at 71%.
All right, let me put it up.
What do? You just put up Rams and Bills and they pick which or
Yeah, well, I'm gonna actually put the team names also, like the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or no. I don't know. This is getting weird. The Rams, you said the Rams, Ravens, so Rams minus 7.5.
Bills minus 4 or 4.5. What was it?
7.5. versus the Ravens. Or you said, what's the other one?
Bills, right?
Bills minus 4.5 versus Falcons. All right. We'll give them a couple minutes. If you had a choice, well, actually, it's bad. Let's let Chris answer this one because we know which one we would take.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo, because I think it's a better number. I do like the Rams, but I don't love 7.5. If it was 6.5, yeah, Rams, but I want to get through that key number. So Buffalo at 4.5, I think is a lot better.
I wouldn't take either one. I was against both of these plays.
That's why I had him answer because I was on the other side of both also. So I don't have an opinion. Ravens in a monsoon.
Yeah. I mean, they're calling for a ton of rain.
All right. So right now we have 20 votes and it's 50. What
a-
am I supposed to do now, Chris? Oh, here we go. It keeps.
As soon as it gets to an odd number, stop it. That's what you got to do.
All right, I'm gonna do it as soon as we get. I need 30 votes. We're at 21 votes. I need 30 votes.
Or Kasi, you know what we do in the radio industry when it's like caller number 10? It's you're picking up the phone. You're caller number 2. You're caller number 7. Congrats, you won. You know, you're not waiting for everybody.
All right,
you win a steak knife set.
You win. You win a Cutco set.
We got these people that we call prize pigs. They're the ones that show up for all the free stuff. And, you know, you're out at an event. There's this one guy here locally that he doesn't have a car. He takes the bus and goes to every radio station event that's going on. And it doesn't matter which one. It could be the country station, the hip hop station, and he wins rinky dink stuff. But every once in a while, he wins a big prize. They got a knack for it.
All right. Rams took it in a landslide. All right. So I'm going to put them in here just so everybody knows. We have with 88% Patriots. Next up with 79%, we have the Commanders.
Colts.
Then the Colts.
Cowboys.
Cowgirls. Cowboys. And Rams. Circa picks. There you have it. All right.
Well, how about does it? Hour 22 for a 5-game card.
There you go.
Oh, wait, we did the circa picks.
Chris has got to get a nap, right?
Nap. I got to go for a full-on hibernation for. I'm still gonna do some college football videos today.
Chris has got to go in his basement and make sure she puts the lotion on her skin, or else she gets the hose again. Don't you hurt my precious. Sorry, man. Oh man. Sorry. I hope you feel better.
Yeah, thanks. What do you guys can do for lunch today? I got some fava beans downstairs.
Get it? Yeah. Oh man.
Do I have some Chianti downstairs too? Is that?
Yeah. That creepy ass sound.
Oh jeez.
We even forgot parlay time. Do we do parlay?
It's kind of tough on a 5-game and like it's 3 random ass college games, but
I got a 5-teamer for you guys. Patriots, Commanders, Colts, Cowboys, and Rams.
Here, I'll do one we talked about.
Yeah,
how about this isn't for today, it's for Sunday, but the Dowdle, Javonte Williams anytime touchdown with the over there, as we think there'll be some points.
I like it.
Or with Carolina.
Stack it up. Dowdle anytime, Javonte Williams anytime, and the over. Right, Jeremy?
I think Javonte is definitely getting in. Dallas isn't going to have an issue moving the ball. And if he's got an entire section of family there, they're going to get him in the end zone.
All right. Aces money line. Over North Texas and South Florida and Washington and the points. Anything else, gentlemen? And I use that term loosely.
No.
Mainly for Costi.
You shut your mouth.
Those are your last words? Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to go watch the back of my eyelids for about 4 hours. Make sure you check out all these guys' content. Costi with the angle. Jeremy with the lowdown. I got the daily videos. Going to have the wraparound tomorrow. 16-game NHL card.
Oof, definitely get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to need it. And the college football breakdown is going to be up later tonight as well. So make sure that you check that out. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to have the college football video recorded, I think, today as well. And just a ton of free content this weekend. So make sure you guys smash that like button to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Any final words officially, guys?
Make it a winning day. And we'll try to act way more professional tomorrow. And we all wore black shirts. Just letting you know. We'll see.
Don't you hurt my dog, man.
This is a gray shirt. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys soon.